This is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
This clearly shows to say we need to seriously look at our judiciary in Ghana. We need to look at our courts. We need to look at our judges. We need to look at the whole judicial system. It is sick. Sa sikano opes ohun physical bidie ka efri eye fosu eko eye den eye praso sa bidie ka sa 40,000 ya hyehyɛ sika wo
yes sama akwa ba biu na wahu anas ni real face ana yese wasan hye artificial face sa na asidi ne anas wahu ni face na san ba bontene different face kra we kwade wangu maso anso yese esan artificial enye ne real face no na we winning court case against Kennedy Akompreko Tiabo Japan 18 million troppable Donald Trump dollars and a Kennedy Japan eba betuada ma anas aremia anas defamation wa we good hu fint no sa case no na anas lusu wo Ghana no odoko US we ni Kevin Taylor se wo ka ho bi ena o ma Kennedy enya sa case no na waye hu course asa fire da fa me kire Kevin Belu bedu ayi e Taylor ya na yinkuti wansa.
I've been in court with Kennedy before here in the United States, the DC Virginia area. I won against Kennedy Japan. He was asking for 9.5 million in damages. Now he's paying over 18 million, close to 30 million in damages to Anas Arimiao Anas. He has the right to appeal this case. And then see if he can maybe pay 28 or 17 or maybe 30, maybe 29.5 or 18.9 or $1 million, you know. We're going to take it easy. We're going to take it cool. We want Ghanaians to understand what has actually happened. So, Oshemo Ghana and then Yumbria, Yempese, Yebemana Shawosu, because Eba court in Sama, Ayana in Sembebre, and Nipa Bintiasie, and it's in Yumbrimina Butra, Mema Ghana for Tiasie say, a investigative journalist will be animal, we are say, Afanena, Anas Arumia Anas, for about 3 years in the Onikade Japan, our court, our America. Because I say, Imra, Kennedy, they may call court, and I think the same time, and Anas so a day a year. Kennedy court ever defamation or say Anas ding a can in some eto Anas so Anas Arimiao Anas who say I was say also ubi aten asem say in some Kennedy e kafa na hono enya no kre. A lot of things were said, a lot of allegations were made, and Anas wanted the allegations proven in court for the world to know that all the allegations that were made against him Anas in some e ka to no so no sebio na no kre bi enim, and that he has been diligent and clean in his job. And that whatever Canada, Japan, aka ana eye or Ghana, and in some as a member of parliament, then they were all lies, and that he was using the privilege he had, being a member of parliament, being a lawmaker, to intimidate and force people to believe what was not there. Canada, Japan, I can send me briefer Anas. Canada, Japan, I catch we have to say Anas Ediboni, Anas Ediu, Anas. Aye nyome bia sebio Ghana fo nyina entwa yeni enkwhwe se Anas eni pabonini Anas hu se asem no e wo se onya enchiremu pa na Kennedy enya engyinaso ema wiase nyina hu se sebio ne dwuma odi no enye nipa bi ho tante na odi dwuma no na emom se ewiase ebehu se nokre sebio dwuma ye nyina yedi eye kote beka ana se journalism ana enhwehwemu journalism no sebio omfa adwene mu bone ena eye nti osa catch Kennedy or catch them so obepenchire mu ye free Kennedy ho if you say na court e wo Ghana no na nyoma bi a omo kire wo Ghana no na emu nhira nda ho imbre bi me ka asem bi ha. I came here and I spoke on this matter when Kennedy Japan was in court with Anas Arimiao Anas. At a point screamed at the judge, insulted the judge, cursed Anas and warned and did everything in court. But at the end of the day, the judge who sat or who was basically presiding over the case made that just pass under the bridge. These were things that we were raising concerns about how the judiciary in Ghana, most of the judges, how transparent they are and how honest they are in their deliberation. Yatina ha can say me bre chechire mu dwedwe mu Ghana for tia say your court no and your judicial system, the way it's being run no majority of Ghanaians who want a year justice, they might have to leave Ghana and go seek justice out somewhere, because it is looking like our judges, our court, and let me just not make it judges, our judiciary was looking very tainted that we thought it was. And this is another case that is proven, say, Ghana, for can we trust our judiciary fully? I am a living example of what actually happened. Canada, Japan, basically because what's not Ghana, it me bullying for court. Sebio, omutumi use judges be Canada General Chief so edidi judge atem kaso ekwasia or one judge or threatening a life. Still, nothing happened. Enini Yeboah was the Chief Justice then. They just told Kennedy to please don't do that, tone down. Kennedy walked. So at a point, Kennedy became very, very powerful in his head because he felt, say, he can even insult and threaten a judge on TV, and the Chief Justice then, Enini Yeboah, would just call him and say, we are sorry for insulting us. So Kennedy became very powerful. Even in court, Kennedy was showing the manhood, letting people know that he controls the court in Ghana. And it's not just Canada, Japan. It is the consistency it's from our politicians and people with a little bit of wealth and power in Ghana, how they are able to maneuver, how they are able to manipulate, how they are able to infiltrate and use the little influence they have in Ghana to decide how cases go in Ghana. And I kept saying to Ghanaians to say, Sibia Embra etie ewo eye America, any other countries they uphold the judicial system and the rule of law. No? In Ghana, no, it is looking like everything falls short. And that is something we have been talking about over the years. Now, Ababa Bedrua say, a member of parliament, a lawmaker, twice in the United States of America, has lost the case in the US. And how difficult was this? It was all about proving your case, putting your facts on the table for a judge who is reasonable and rational to make a decision. That's all. If you're a judge, you are not supposed to look at where the person is coming from, who he represents, the kind of position they have. It is about the law and what the law says and how people are able to prove their cases. Every day I was on our judges, on our judiciary, and at a point I was on some of our journalists. Even when journalists go out there, put their life on the line or their lives on the line, win cases, go through a lot. We get journalists in Ghana who connive with politicians, connive with people with power to suppress. Sometimes they are told Ahmed Swale to be murder journalists. I remember when the PDS issue by Gabi Ochidakun Echo Court, a journalist called our friend Samolata Mensa of City News or City FM or Channel 1 News. He was the one who went to court to say Gabi Ochidakun witness, and that the court should listen to him, the journalist. Remember, when I did the PDS story, I brought documents to prove, say, Gabi Ochidakun audio. I brought documents to prove that Gabi is a criminal and that he was caught on tape discussing Ghana Yesikasem. And so a journalist in Ghana called Samolata Mensa went to court and said he was Gabi's witness and that whatever I said was a lie, a fellow journalist. So now you see where we are. We need to protect everyone. It is not about me. It is not about Nas. It's about you walking on the street. Because Nas has a lot of influence around the world. And see how he's being suppressed. He was being suppressed in Ghana. They were pressing his neck. Even though he had the opportunity to speak, they did everything possible to press his neck. Anas is more powerful than 90% of you Ghanaians watching me. There are so many countries Anas will go a presidential treatment. They will not give you. But see how our court treated Anas. See how it is still treating Anas. See how at the end of the day, being patriotic and trying to serve your nation, how it turns out to be, because we the citizens don't even understand. Because the Kennedy Anas or Ghana, now person the Yemeno, you bet me the diwo. Now with all due respect, won't put the we need a pen kasem. With us, at least we have a voice. Second Japan. As we speak now, or the Anas Ayumia Anaska $18 million. I was a offer. Also, a church on Kratabi Diaba. No problem. Anas and lawyers say, Omo chain. Yate so crano. Yet me so cry $400. $18 million minus $400. Monya calculation and a Kennedy into the Akado. Into say Yate so cry be a judge, obeso otiso jury no na say 80 million ebia otiso $330 cra into 80 million minus $330 yen share the Kennedy betua and also asem. Now let's enter the courtroom na yen share the see court and the courtroom of New Jersey Kennedy Japan any Anas case na and the Kennedy he needs to pay $18 million. 18. Remember, Kennedy remember court also offered $9.5 million. I didn't Kennedy pen or Anas a double number Kennedy. Now Kennedy saw offered $9.5 million if free me. And Anas I had a double 9.5 million no mano. It Kennedy they now open or Anas I had 2 amano. And then there was a Kennedy Tiama Anas. Now court in summer a CNA and then Kenya show Mukra Moha Junior. Kennedy Japan obetua oska and send your Kennedy fui ba omi man kakra no so bi account say o se ba omi man $800 million only $80 million. Now see this when in summer is see your court dey be am catch them. You see this particular guy na me catch am say me see no your friend Dada Fred. This guy many Kennedy work court no or the misinformations be to abontene. My legal team, no, they have put it together. And Anas Kennedy case, no, in court. These are part of the evidence. Anas team, no, the legal team, no, editor. This foolish man, your friend, that afraid, me a call. I will make sure to siko beti okrumano. Ebe kunetu esikano. Ebe ununa obenum edulokuno. I am going to sue him. Now Kennedy case, no, this fool obemu. He was mentioned, and he is the tool. Any other foolish platforms, sir, Kennedy Japan, Eddie misinforming Ghana for. Anas na one fan corner so Anas the Ujana Manekoye. But I am going to sue. Because time at Kennedy Japan, they be call court. I'm a winning case, no. Sa branch of betina TV, so betina social media. You check tape singing a go. I catch we as say, judge no case, no. Judge na India 70 years. Obeko court akuchim. On the bejina bon tebeka chenko for say, oh, case, no, Kennedy winning. Into today, I want him to know where Anas case, no. And remember, on the Kennedy Japan na Facebook and Ochantro, no. One can chance Kevin Taylor say he is going to meet me in court in Massachusetts. I am taking it to him. Me say this time obiya beda because you want to say anyane sa in kwasiafo system any general make catch boys be say munya mo kwasa na mu di no New York Street ni so a mu hu bebia mo bedi mo nkoma akọ me de all the kwasiasem ne ba me so a I'll catch you from your hole and make sure the Lord deals with you. Into so become as making sure say on krata do bibia gina na so. Into mun send a message when come the Fred. Where Anas the case, no, he was part of the evidence. Anas at the kind case. Time I mimi case in the buy, no. Sa Dada Fred way also kwasi apenyi way etna TV so. Ocha atro eto judge no so. And most importantly, ocha atro eto court no so. Not just a referee, no. Because I was waiting. I got my legal team to compile everything. And he needs to prepare himself for over $5 million. Yes, I am telling him. Some misinformation or best sending in public about a ruling from a federal court. Anything I'm in the picture to sono. Into more munim ni biya monkanjan say me, I am coming to him. Mima a little bit of it right after our case. Because I wanted my team to compile enough. It's you that I'm afraid, you know. Anas the enemy. Anas share that one for one back or two. By you. Sansa no kafa judge na otina mimi case no so. Misinformation a wo cartoon frame him. Efa meme ho time Anas case no court. Obeba American court abechirem. And I will make sure say over $10 million, we may see you. You need to get ready. You need to get a lawyer. You need to be ready for what is coming. Because you're boy who. We your boy who. Into say why ready? Say obe missing for me. I be the Kennedy didn't quite sema. Wait for me because I'm coming with a 10 million suit. Me catch you. So get ready. Now these are some of the things that happened in court. It be ready. We are coming to serve you. Mema catch you because we are one person who catch you. Papa. On can correct. Penina when you say Coco Chia or one no se botase. Tete abru chicken kwasia sem tantro. Yanim kora yesiswa ya bechichire man no. Wenum bagaya se trata tai kekam kwasia sem Jimmy. What do I say America judge so. Me share na me catch me team say they should be quiet. You know my lawyer. Obechira will be America. Krum hanya ode. What that afraid? Now, my mentor they see what court and the pictures and the videos. So this is what happened in court. Kennedy Japan, you see during the hearing, no, Okojun saw 10 times. Obano anumusio Kennedy ay frail, why mre. On nantia no you say. Oh, the unfair. They need to brino. Kennedy Japan, you see in the court. Insue otusu baba. Go no ada no Okojun so no aba. Sikeni bele. Junso hini esikeni bele. Otigana yen kanasem kwasiasam. And the America court, ye piano kwasha down. We otumi gina Ghana court no didi judge atem. Ni aso so oh Mr. Kennedy, oh honorable. America court, pure water near 7 no. America court kede Japan, pure water near the man say no. Otidan sa akokɔ. Maka kire Ghana for. Sa ankɔfo na mo so Ghana na oboba no mu hunahuna mo daada mo no. They are nobody in America. They are nobody in Europe and America. They are nobody. And Akwa Kennedy was suppressing the power chronim Ghana chronim. And Otidan ni amane pure water. My mention more pictures from court today. We have mention video. This is a year they see what court and Kennedy ni na case ni cause not OTA. My mention jo makesi akesiem. Send a beya bloggers ni benya bibi didi. Kennedy ni case na course nde ewo eye court. Kennedy Japan ete wo no ne lawyer na siri trase amutumu se mu ayedin $18 million eka eda Kennedy tiri so $18 million na no kasa eni nyome bi a oye Otigana ena omu frustrating kofo omu the court epopo kofo. The same case in Ghana we wini Ghana judges atam case na manso we wini obedu America osade sa case na ba say me wini case ni o Ghana and America court said dabi the na ekoso o Ghana no sebio no mu bonkuro. This is Kennedy, the lawyer sorry kasa emfa boga yemre ye jujum me ma bloggers. The lawyers na kasa no e defend na emfa Kennedy so na to no ye pia na shekona. Showdown I am re. Showdown at the court why din. Judge bi ani wa onim no. Eye clerk bi ani wa onim no. Bailiff bi ani wa onim no. Sa court we enya ho na kwaka do you know who I am or do you know me? I say yenka do you know me? Do you know me? Haven't you heard about my name? If you don't take care, you take care. Sadia de bini America court e bini ho. It read my lips and then nakot na kwanchen where Superior Court of New Jersey and young kwanchen court. We any in some course or quarter me ma gallery ni kakra. Akabo gankwan ne lawyer ba ko no ye hu bebi awafa. Enti ene da ho no New Jersey Superior Court Kennedy Japan ene yemia na hyenchen no otumi nkasa boga yemre onim obi a akwa hunahuna no akoya do you know me? Don't you know I am Akompre ku Kennedy Japan? Unim se me free fosu. I am the MPP financier ejuma ba enam da pono so de ntwe na bowe wo so kwawe akokokon Kennedy 18 million at that table so also per 9.5 million meme 9 million the other day de ntwe na bo table no so no we are also pa akokokon and the anas akoku na ntwe abro anas say 18 million ntwe we na ntwe na obowe Kennedy isi ebe wi akokon ne kon obi say judgment today say na heaven be you ebeka obi ane lawyer judgment today no heaven say ya o ebeka obi ane lawyer but there say lawyer ko fum na ka go out to war ai heaven say ya na be na obi can judgment today ebe say obi ane lawyer otu abo so lawyer oh I'm urinating I'll be back fum no afa second door no ewuram now that want to watch lawyer judgment today say ya na be ebeka obi ane lawyer okay we air court exclusive na me dem mamu no Kennedy Japan eto no ai ekoso court wo orkodo 18 million showdown. They train the ball on Kennedy so pakokon. In the showdown and ye piano ko si enchen mommy enko enim gallery na na ekoso no. After this about atene chire. Sa akonwa no so obi atene makotene chire na say emu aye ding. Boga kana no esi so. Read my lips. Boga reading lips no. Say oh so boga kana no esi so I saying. Na say eya jiegu $18 million. Hit. $18 million. Ya de apim Kennedy also tia. Ana asekura bo no me bo besia. Ana asekura me ho kire me ti besia also me bo besia pe 500k ma me fanya me nyoma. Anas. Utieti lawyers nyina wi 500k die wan fama me dia me no ba ku bewu. Enti boga read my lips and waka lips na sisi no wakotena nchen. Why say you say ni bra ba. Me de me ye kote beka me kote ye and me the evidence be kiro because when you say ebi mo ho magimi Kevin Taylor boa otan Kennedy we anya mini Kennedy asemo Kennedy ni Anas na Anas say win $18 million. They see o court no and me de kiro enye bosremu ka me ma blog is eduane edi Kennedy won sensem part 1 and 2 now koso Kennedy Japan niana o ka se nko di MP no onie ono se court we see the trust e kaba akoko kontwa apetire ne tiesi form Kennedy nuane nie we are not radio so ye Kennedy will contest the 2028 elections onie we see the trust me bra dia ne wakofa be kakra ya isi ye nende o me rekoma Anas akudi ase no obema Kevin Taylor 500,000 enti Kennedy nuane nie we na okopri seat na ya nto ama no omo nka no kre de otieche ode minim ebia omo busua penya na sankofo no ebia omo wo eye African market ni bi no ai enti Kennedy nuane so nie we see the trust ye bo 18 million so no we see the trust say titi wo bi ka titi wo bi kire now ninuano still out to me say na why mre eduru bebi no Kennedy nuano you can see amabaju krom nyiye pressure ba this year court season me so me ba be court omo mu defame me edifame me lawyer edifame judge in America. I am going to court. Anas was still wearing nose mask in court. But over Ghana, judge to me tinoka says Anas saying nose mask na yendi asem. You see the difference. You see how our judiciary in Ghana. You see how our judiciary in Ghana, how bad some of our judges are. The judge sitting in that courtroom in New Jersey is looking at the facts and evidence before him. How you dress to court is up to you. It is your presentation in court, how the jury will see you. Whether you wear a nose mask or not, at the end of the day, it is your case, the substantive case, your evidence is what they are looking at. Because they are dealing with the law. They are not looking at individuals. And the law itself is blind. It does not look at faces, background, economically where you are coming from, or financial, or whatever. It's looking at the case, the law. They are applying it. So whether somebody is dread, whether somebody is wearing a nose mask, whether somebody is wearing a face shield, what is more important to the jury and the judge is that look at the evidence before you. Look at it and apply the law and let's see. But don't say, Senya Omubu Asemgu Anas so Ghana was that it wasn't the substantive issue Anas had brought to court. Anas trying to defend himself. In Ghana, the Edibuati Anas and say, yes, nose mask be Anas face mask be. Say Anas say yeah. That means Anas is guilty. This is where we are as a nation. Judge to me tonight say because of face mask, nose mask, because I want you to look in a certain way in my court. You know? If you don't look that way, I am going to call you a criminal. I am going to label you a criminal. That is the danger in our judiciary. And that is what we need to look at. Are we looking at a substantive case that is before us as judges, as judiciary, or we are looking at the characters or the individuals standing before us? And when you go to Ghana, the judiciary today look at the people involved in the case than the case itself. And that is the beginning of our end. And that is what is running this country down. Our biggest problem in Ghana today is that when judges sit in courtrooms, they are looking at the individuals involved, not the substantive case before them. It is all come back now check it. Case I say Anas Lucy against Nyantechi against Kennedy Japan. You will see, say, it is not about the evidence that was provided or was given in court. The judge now or the court case now odi asemno. He's looking more at how to unmask Anas. And this is how they have destroyed Ghana. Anas instructed to testify without mask. The evidence that has been provided, what do you need mask for? This is Ghana court. And this is how they use the law to destroy lives in Ghana. And see, for a very long time, we made the judiciary look like, say, Nyankopon, we cannot question the judiciary. We cannot question their conduct. We cannot even question their biasness. And that is what some young judges who were actually growing up, that is the thing that was in their head. At a point, they felt to say, when I sit on a case, a journalist or an individual does not have the right to even question the way I conduct my court proceedings. At a point, judges were called by the General Legal Counsel about their conduct in court. And when journalists like us sit on TV and on radio to question the conduct of judges, the judges are able to say, hey, but the warrant at all. So that is how low our judiciary has become. And sometimes people forget, those people who defend such things, they forget to say, this same court will be used against them. So when people like us sit and we start to question the credibility of some of our judges in Ghana, it is not personal. It is because of their conduct. It is because of what they do. It is because of the way they conduct themselves and how they treat people before them. I can take you back to Opuni's case. Justice Jackson Unyuga sat in court. Somebody purged himself. The judge said, let us go and come back. I will punish the person who has purged himself under oath. That is our legal system today. We live in a country where a whole Supreme Court had to go to UK to bring some black book to judge our elections. That is how low our judiciary has come. It is not me. It is not about a judge sitting somewhere thinking that a young man like myself criticizing their actions and the way they conduct themselves in court. It is not about me. It is about we making sure the system works, making sure the people we have given, and yet that to me say among India some court, those people are doing what is right. Because if you don't have the right to criticize you as a judge, then it means we are giving you the free room, the free will to do damage. And that is what some judges want. They want to be democratically autocratic in Ghana. Listen, some judges in Ghana want to be democratically autocratic. They hide under the umbrella of judiciary to intimidate journalists, to intimidate open-minded criticism, and to intimidate the system. That is the pain that some people think that they can force on us in Ghana. So you get young judges who are so politically ambitious, who think they can do things to please political opponents, to put people in jail, and their conduct, their utterances clearly shows that they are rushing through cases. They are trying to please some people's ego. When we question their actions and their attitude, those judges become jittery and become pompous, and they think they can use the same office that we have given them to intimidate we the people who have made them who they are. No, it is not going to work. And that is what I have been talking about years over years. Kennedy Japan sat on national television to tell a sitting judge live on national TV that you are warned. Warn a sitting judge The Chief Justice then, Eni Yeboah, kept quiet. To date, Kennedy Japan did not pay for any of the utterances against every single judge, or the Supreme Court judges, High Court judges, the deliberate disrespect. So you sit in Ghana and some people think that it is personal. They think that the little power that they have been given, they can use that power to suppress we the citizenry. We are not ready to quail in. And that does not do anything to us. Because what is right, what is wrong, and we are not going to move away from the principles and then making sure the right thing is done. You know, so many judges in Ghana who were even the first 40 in their classes, they were not part of it, but they wanted to go to Supreme Court. They know themselves. Judge Chebafo is one. In his class as a judge, the 40 first student, brilliant student, 40 students who were considered to be smart, he wasn't even part of it. But he, at a point, wanted to go to the Supreme Court. After coming to meet senior lawyer judges in because we have allowed, some of us need to understand, when you are given an opportunity to sit in our courtrooms, without due respect, you are not God. This is law. Take your feelings out. Take your affiliations out. Take your political affiliation, religious affiliations. Look at the case critically. Look at the evidence presented before you. Be honest to yourself and your God and the people who have invested that power in you. It is not to bully yourself your way through. No, it doesn't work like that. This is 2025, for crying out loud. It is not easy. You cannot just muscle your way through. Until we need to let the people understand. That is why some of us were calling for serious overhauling of our judiciary. And our judiciary needs serious overhauling, because from what we have seen over the years, what we have experienced, the kind of inconsistencies, the consistency in the inconsistencies in our courts, now in Ghana, we need to check it or this country will go down. And this government needs to take the most biggest, difficult, bitter pill when it comes to judiciary reforms. Serious reforms needs to be done. We cannot have judges who think or who believe or who in their senses feel too entitled to serve the people. It needs to end. I was say a sucha because we been to me go to be board the keke near money 25 years. Na kwasi ampenyi bi mbo krono enko we buy $50 million. Near and say plea bargain. No, it is not supposed to be like that. Yen to me chigan and ninko to fiase 25 years say or ya hwiase or ya galamse na Chinese needy a excavated jina minimum a tuamena na adia bechi de beko court as a Chinese for nyina ahye na jajajiatum. That needs to change. We cannot be slaves in our country. No. You, the judges that we have given opportunity and this opportunity to sit in our courtrooms, you are not supposed to turn we, the people who gave you the power, slaves. You can't do that. You need to be conscious about the things you do. Because today, the highest bidder walks in our courtrooms without anything, without shoes, spits shit in any courtroom, and they walk freely. Innocent people plead, get on their knees. We still put them behind bars because there's nobody to pay for them, there's nobody to speak for them. This should tell you something. The judgment Anas Arimiana Anas has gotten, they are very embarrassing about this whole thing was that Kennedy Japan winning defamation case against Anas or Ghana. No? He lifted that same case and brought it to the United States. A jury said that does not really hold. That is a slap in the face of our judiciary. It means that defamation case now, Kennedy Japan winning or Ghana, no, basically the evidence that supports the case, no, is flawed. It means judge or tina case or judges our case, that judge is not even supposed to be sitting in our courts again. And I am not saying that all the courts in America are perfect and they are next to God. No, but we are humans. So what the evidence about court with a jury of about 60, that's what to me tenase, it me rubbish a whole judgment. And like the lawyer was saying, when you win a defamation case, when there's a defamation case in another court, that defamation case now we win, it cannot go and defend that defamation case in the next court. Every case is independent, stands on itself, and comes with its own evidence. So we need to get serious And my message to the president, the new government, is that our court needs overhauling. Our court needs to be overhauled. We need serious reforms. I will say reforming your courts. The leadership, if they are not ready to work, we the people are willing to get people who are willing to work. I don't hate anybody. Yatna Ghana, a whole chief justice, a lawyer went to court and claimed that the chief justice had paid or taken $5 million bribe from a citizen. Till date, this lawyer who basically was reporting his client's statement was haunted. A whole judiciary system was turned against a lawyer who was trying to get the truth out. And you all know, NK say, $5 million. Or send the clients. Eka Chere say, $5 million. And the lawyer was just reporting what his client had told him. The lawyer ended up at the wrong side. The whole judiciary was set up against the lawyer. This lawyer went to the General Legal Counsel. The Chief Justice Enini Yeboah then made sure he used the General Legal Counsel led by Sam Okujato to frustrate the system. This is where we are. I spent almost $300,000 to fight Kennedy Japan in federal court in America. $300,000. That is how much I spent. 4 lawyers, 2 backup, 2 face lawyers. Almost $300,000. All because I am using the facts to prove to Ghanaians that things happening in Ghana are lies. The politicians are manipulating the system. Some people are using fake news, misinformation, and people are suppressing the system. Almost for $300,000. I won the case for every single journalist in Ghana, every single journalist in Africa. Anas has won a groundbreaking case, defamation case, for journalists in Ghana, journalists around the world, journalists across Africa. But you get the same journalists, some of them in Ghana, ganging up against Anas. With all due respect, let me tell you, I am not here to defend Anas. Anas is human. He has his flaws. If you know Anas has done something or a crime against you, you have the right to take Anas to court. That is what I represent. But as far as I know, the allegations that were posed, the allegations that were mounted on Anas, the things that Anas was being tagged with, in court today, it has proven, or court has proven, say, none of the allegations against Anas, those allegations Kennedy Japan made, Anas being a thief, Anas being a murderer, Anas being a serial killer, Anas being a criminal, a co-conspirator, and all that, today in a court in New Jersey, a superior court, they are saying none of those things had basis. That is what I am looking at. I am not here to hold Anas' hand to heaven, because Anas is friend in Yankopona Miniho. Whatever Anas does, I have never been in any of Anas's meetings. My job here is to speak to the fact and what is on paper and what we know. And so you might have your own personal issues with Anas. It's his problem. It's your problem. If you have the legal means to go after him, go after him. But from what I know here, whatever was said against Anas at the end of the day has been proven that he is not guilty of the allegations of being a murderer, a thief, a criminal, a co-conspirator, and all that. At least we know, the world knows today, that whatever Kennedy Japan said was a lie. That is what I'm looking at. So if you have an issue with me and saying, Anas, that you are protecting, I am not protecting Anas. I've not been able to protect myself. How do I protect Anas? But I will defend Anas with the fact, because at least from court, we know around the world that Anas Arimya Anas is not a murderer. He's not a killer. Anas is not a liar. He's not a thief. Those are the basics you need to understand. And anything I make a will say, that afraid now or what Massachusetts, may sue $10 million. I want to send a message to you, those people in America. I want to use that afraid to send a message. I never wanted to talk about this because we have moved quite deep. But me that afraid, me didn't set the example. I would take everything he owns in America and give it out for charity. Me na make a trouble. A dear be about America say $1. Meje nam dia charity. Because I want to set the rules. You per se a clean system, no. So what time will be in chess also can't trot so. That's why when I sit here, I back every single statement I make with facts. Because when you say people's credibility are on the line. And I can't just come sit here and make allegations without having the fact. And anytime I can't say, say you can go to court and I'll come and respond. Like Williams and Nefi Sapon, I have sat here on countless occasions to tell him, go to court. This is how it's supposed to be done. Ghana for Munshia be free. Nobody should dare sit on any TV or radio in Ghana around the world to say Anas is a murderer. You go to jail because there's a court ruling. Anas is a thief. You go to jail because there's a court ruling. You need to prove beyond reasonable doubt that what you are saying, you have the fact. In more America, no. So I brand a friend that afraid no. Now me change my way and maybe activate the case be. Now me activate the case now. I will make sure the other tongue everything he said about the judge who ruled on my case against Kennedy, every misinformation he put out against the United States court, all the number of times he came on air to lie, we have all the tapes. Now me change a DB. And remember American have nipa. And I will use that afraid as the first goat. They didn't catch and I'm going to sue for 10 million. Maybe Massachusetts. I'll come there. I'm going to sue there, the Massachusetts Supreme Court. I will sue there. And I want you to come and prove in some social media. On say, and now the case, you know, Udi any picture, any video copy. They played your videos. You lying to Ghanaians and say, you're the Kennedy, and Uncle Fosse, and a Kennedy. You were in court. You were part of the evidence. And I can the phone here. Yes, himself a panel, and I can edit and answer the kind of say. Some questions, some messages, Democrat, Mamma from Cassam, trouble on three. Mamma from Cassam, and double new say, a year quantano, mobile minute, Mocassam, and mobile some Cassam, and about 1 3. Was your 4 entity? Mudimun crosses some of you, and I would have better crumha, mon per se, more with the Uber coffee, me. Mese ba jip me pro ho oba se quen 5 peswa quen me ekoda me ka kire mo betena Facebook a na yes ye MPC so na Kennedy Japan no na Kevin Caesar ne tie na mo di Jimmy Sam mo ti se tente wano se bolaka na ye nsiase na ge Kevin Caesar ye ko china anie mese breaking news e ye ko ta chi ne kua George se mese oba ba kire ni nyina wo page ne so when nim se na ntwie ba. And I judge, you know, the judge can say, judge can. Now evidence to what you were saying. Did you have evidence to the things you were saying? Say judge and say, and a court and say, can you prove it? And a judge and say, no, the ATF court and say, yes, judge and say, Kevin Taylor and it's here, it's here, channel. Yadi, Hancock Gogun in Sa, near the Nako Ghana, in City, MP for Momon in Z, and I mean, I just said, Messaba. Breaking news, you're shedding in answer pompo. You're the bow comb and other compo. Onte rhymes no me say we breaking news na wututwa no ya hyehyɛ de se pompo ya beke kan bom ne de abnya wo kon te se kompo next time who panyina bo say we de ye panyini po monim de ko hu matwi wo mu te se de onya nipa enna yazie the first nie enna ke me rene table here I say lewa 10 na shede to enna yazie yansiasie me se ba omia enna MPP for me say ke Japan zie ya ni ne be ke Japan say wa wo sie me Kennedy Kevin Caesar ya see a che no ya see no Kevin Caesar kwasi ampanyi bi Kevin Caesar ya see kwa me say judge no enna breaking news me bo bi a kire mo. Breaking news. Judge and says Kevin Taylor and ye the ko Ghana ya so mu kia ya se no Kennedy Japan ya catch him say ono aka o say Kevin Taylor and o me jeli no and I judge na ka me say the o kan ye nyina o be say be kan court I woni me on me wicked fucking but don't be wicked no nyame kakra wo mu enti atia utumi nya ho hwe eye MPP for mo asa America ma kyerem ade kitu ebi na me say that Fred we no nam de be kyerem ade bi se na be ya monum kankan no mokotena TikTok kan kwase asem na mudi kwase asem a wo be hu se hey thank you very much team thank you next time no mo be asem ba na mo de mo nkwasi a tribe no or some of the ton chain na mo de mo Jimmy ne ton chain na mo aka bi Kevin Taylor is here obetina wa I say alewa treasure ne to yes breaking news Kevin my butt down me obi anu me timi kan story breaking news break o hwe be mati I say Abidjan for to me enu aya kan sie ni breaking news dey kon dey mama seche mu nsemo the see na me reporters if you course wo eka ye judge ne kan say Kevin Taylor kwasia benguta me fra court na 10 million aba de me ye wo krom ha no me say me ye na epo pompo na me be show concept kompo next time mu nipa mbebu no easy for us we are one of the lawyers for us and I want to state again Udini Evans Selassie Adika renowned lawyer Bepacho, can you run us through how it started and how we got to know today say a judgment in the New Jersey court Abba.
Okay, Mr. P. You know, the interesting thing is, I quite remember that you were sued in the U.S. sometime in 2021.
Yes.
And that actually caused my clients to begin inquiring about possibly if there's if there was anything out there, whether it will be actionable in the U.S. So you have some significance to today's events. So shortly after, when you were going through your motion to dismiss, we actually took a keen interest in that case and reviewed all the pleadings. And during that time also, my client informed me of a video that was circulating on social media. I just say, and someone just like what kind of about my client. So, like, you know, as the intellectuals that we are, we started opening the books and try to see where we can lay a claim. And so, interesting enough, I mean, after reviewing the video, I you know, in our training, there's something that we are taught. So, in your case, a case, no, it has to pass the test, and the case has to stand on all fours, which means that you do an analysis of whether there's jurisdiction in place, whether you have all the elements of each claim that you want to bring, you know. So we went through all of that, and my conclusion was yes, on the basis of video now, my client is send them, you know. You tweet back court, New Jersey, yes, and say, yeah, papa no video no, so yeah, papa na and the new some say, or kase fee New Jersey. Now, when you say the diaspora is very important. Obviously, what you do is testament to that fact. And you know, there was an audience that he spoke to. We're Ghana for. They all take a keen interest in the happenings in Ghana, especially the politics in Ghana. So we thought, you know, there was solid grounds for us to be in the court in New Jersey. So I advised my clients accordingly. Now, when you say a lawyer. So obviously, he was an integral part of what was going on in the preparatory stage. At that time, I am a U.S. trained lawyer, but I currently only practice in Ghana. And you know, there was a team of us. I'd like to say congratulations to my learned colleague Odette Crow. He was a part of yes, he was counsel of record in Ghana. So I pulled him into the research, and we drafted a complaint. And like a lawyer, so we did the work, and he actually filed it himself. So you know, after the preliminary back and forth, you know, initially, the case was we sued in 2022.
Okay. Yes.
We filed sometime, I think. The complaint. Yeah, sometime, I think, in the summer of 2022.
May 17th, 2022.
Yes. And you know, by law, no, there was a period by which Yapapano Anka was or responded with what is known as an answer. But so Yapapano filed a response, and my case no call into default. Now, after a period of default, you can actually go for judgment. Now, a case near Fale, we filed on 3 counts. But I couldn't say or say, a chrome 4. The second one was Oyewudini in terms of Onuna or behind the medal of Yenuya Ahmed Swale.
Yeah.
Now the third one so say Yenuya no a serial killer in terms of Woku Chinese for Bibrebi wo Ghana. And then the fourth one is or a criminal, the blanket word criminal. And then the fifth one by implication or say Onuna behind Woody Sembiana, that means say Abiana and no a trigger man and also no will be second and I say perform the physical act that led to the foreseeable events, which is Obi a. So we also included a count that he is that he claims that my client a co-conspirator in multiple serial killings. So that was basically the gravamen of our complaint. And when it went on undefended after the response time now, we began to make preparations to move for judgment. But being that I was in Ghana and we are all based in Ghana, we reached within our network and we partnered with two brilliant lawyers who I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate. Atawemega Esquire, he was the father figure of the team of lawyers, and a brilliant trial lawyer by the name of Andrew Dehere. These are all brilliant Ghanaian lawyers on this case. And, at that point, we recruited them as counsel of record. And, the case went, at that point, Kennedy's lawyers came in, obviously, because near Beji judgment for the full $30 million. And so he had counsel, and counsel came and also did his thing. Reopen default, they argued that they had a solid defense. And I think right around then, and I almost got judgments from Ghana, almost really see it. And I know so say defense to case I
because
New Jersey.
We need
But
Ghana, so our case no
exactly.
It's only no almost case. Okay.
So as defense against, but the interesting thing is that the defamation sits here say kind of the work for court. It's a separate case.
Yeah.
It's not to mean to Ghana and be defending way. You still have to prove the truth of it. And this time, in this jurisdiction, the law is the same essentially because Ghana but you sound so free other countries. There are certain times that even though any of presidential value, I just said, judge into me so India, but we to me the two na senior especially in cases maybe you decided that type of a case. And Emrano is the same as Ghana. Procedurally, there are certain nuances, sometimes in terms of certain dates, you have to do certain things by, and also in New Jersey, Emra drafted complaints. We were fully aware that we were required to prove what we were claiming by a higher standard than in Ghana.
Yeah.
Yes, in this case, and not even that. In this case, we were required to prove our case not by the normal civil standard, but by a clear and convincing evidence standard. Okay. And they responded with that, and they were able to successfully reopen the default, which paved way for them to file an answer. And they filed an answer which essentially claimed that there was some sort of back and forth between him and Anas. And we took it for what it's worth, and we forged on. And we finally got our trial date sometime earlier this year, and it was postponed. And then we finally went to trial last Monday. We started trial on Monday, and we put up our case. My client testified. He testified. He brought other witnesses, and after listening to both sides. Senior the difference between what happened with Ghana and trial by jury into judge or judge back one I say judge me no I say judge me and send a BDS seminar. But normal people on the streets of New Jersey, tax-paying citizens, and in this case, we started off with veneer. That's the technical word for when the prospective jurors are brought in. We are from a veneer. The veneer of 60 citizens, taxpaying citizens of the state of New Jersey, specifically Newark, New Jersey, and its surroundings, were brought in, and after what is known as Boadu, which is the process by which they are questioned to see if they have any sort of bias or anything that would stand
for Ghana for no you vetiomo say bia
vetiomo just say obi nim asem hu bia na so onimu bia asem we fan ho ana say obi wo hwa bia nyame bi osom no so we went through all of that. That was day one. That took from area to the end of the day. And so on Tuesday, we came to court and we had our opening statements. They had their opening statements. And then we proceeded to put on our evidence. And at the close of the evidence, the jury was instructed, Judge, in this case, Judge, Emrano. Na Omodiama. Jury no make church mu o making kan chro mu first no mo asan so amomo paper mo de be ko inside akwa decide the different deliberations me nim dey so be kan twimu but me so say me ka o the pensem okay abobo okay okay and you know you dey ask me more about Thursday about 4:30. Yeah, I didn't church from running now. Anna, there are some more 4:30. Into now, I dream say we be an 4:30. No, I caught a punk right around that time, which is I believe consistent with the practice in. I know it's consistent with the practice in Ghana. Into no, no cry. I dream so. Be at Nana. Take a deep breath and reflect on what has transpired during the past 4 days. And about 20 minutes later, we got word that the jury. So as part of the defense, I think it's only fair that a charges counts now the buy and the civil claims now the buy. His defense was also although Oka said it was some sort of just based banter between him and Uniano, he came to court and asserted truth as his defense. And so
time I court say counting na mode bono no say on it and us back and forth, right? The only claim or make it or say a banter. I just say we can't wait internet and share or no, you're not all can you say ubi to be more almost tomorrow.
But all you do court media that was not
and your son of kind record no G2.
Yeah, be or maintaining the position say no can or down standing by no kind.
Okay.
Basically, Mremon chese or practice no creno di no onye bo ni bia.
Okay.
So to support that, no, or the move you try your internet to who watches a watchman. But or the announced by as on only defense, and so the jury had the opportunity to evaluate that and factored that in the analysis. And obviously, it was not the weight that they wanted the jury to accord to it. So jury never go. About 20 minutes later, the jury came back with a verdict, and there were the multiplicity of very quick, and there was a multiplicity of questions that were posed to the jury. That's the way how they arrived at the decision. It's and also unanimous. People who were picked off the streets of not picked off the streets of New Jersey, but they're transferred from based on address, voter registration data. And but within 20 minutes, they saw through everything and said no. So they came back and there was not even one juror that sided with Yapapana Samuel.
All against
8-0 on every count and on every question that was posed to the jury, including damages now about no Boadu and also crown. There was a unanimous decision. I just say it was a solid decision of the jury. 20 minutes on take it on said there was no doubt in our presentation to what you kind of lay people. These are not experts in the law.
Yeah, they are just
these are lay people
who just sat and used their common sense to come to a conclusion.
No. I will not say use that. I will not say use that common sense.
They listen to you and they listen to the other part. It makes sense though.
And then the law, the law is the law. No judge in this world has any power to bend the law. That sort of conduct is what causes strife and war in places.
Yeah.
America had the judge actually before the judge ever kind jury instruction, but catch jurors and say, oh no, only to be a assassin women now. You know, between say or camera, actually, and that's how it went. But you know what's interesting about Nisi and or a lawyer contrary, even though people don't give him credit for that.
At least Bonidina Anas asem na working.
But Anas, Anas. Or also a very astute lawyer, Onimumrapa, new beer, your dream. And and some people walk cry a car on Jim Tumu, but sometimes a team of legal team to we come to a compromise. Now, he has been adamant about clearing his name because I have a personal experience of understanding. It's one of the worst things that can happen to someone.
Yeah.
And he absolutely took the position there. He wanted a trial. He's not interested in any settlement. He's not here for the money. He's here to clear his good name that he has built over time. And in his profession, at this time, Anka also started doing one. So he always maintained that he wanted a trial to the point where sometimes there was a disagreement in the legal team. Now, procedurally, America, the peace. Said that schedule there, and from this time to this time, Ghanaian support to staff that work to we are dedicating it to your case. It's no small matter.
I know. I've been there. It's not easy.
Before they will go to trial, there's mandatory settlement conference. I bet say at this maybe by this time we'll be say grown or they'll commit to the rights and senses and decide say this shouldn't go on because yes. And I acquire unfortunately me Anas disagreed with me, but I prepared a settlement memorandum that sought to settle this case for $18 million, just like the jury came back. As you know, these days we have all kind of tools that we can use to predict certain things.
Before you go ahead, this is where the contention is, and people saying 80 million, others saying a year 30 million. Now when you read,
well, we'll come to that. Let me clarify. Let me just clarify.
Yeah.
Okay. Complaints there the coin. Yeah, claim for $30 million. $30 million.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. And what I'm saying is that at the before the mandatory settlement conference, before the jury is empaneled, even though my client had firmly informed me he had no intention of settling this case because he believes that he ought to go to a jury of his peers to clear his name. But maybe let's just prepare our settlement memorandum, be thorough and be reasonable.
Yeah.
And even though he protested, I prepared a settlement memorandum that sought to settle this case for $18 million. Okay. Now you do settlement conference, papa about court. Now the lawyers just say what he was willing to settle this matter for, and they said $10,000. So honestly,
it's clarification is very, very important. Normally Ghana.
Okay.
Into Mukodru Hono, Anas initially, you have a kind of simple street language, and the damages are not paid around $30 million. And the client and Anas Kasa say a woman saw for $30 million, and yes, he can't all pay. In fact, he wants his name to be cleared, and then any priority of going to court.
Yes.
But because of the experience, now unim sibi anyo matiano, uno client here and ask Kasa and say it would be better and to be reasonable to at least settle on $80 million. And I'll say, no client and ask, you did not really agree, but because he respects you as his counsel and as a lawyer, you people ended up around that money, around that figure, which is $80 million.
Oh yes, like I said, your papa lawyer at a Wemega, New York.
Oh, yeah.
Also come home Andrew De here.
Yeah, you are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. When my guy is there,
yes,
De here is there, Crow is there, yourself. Basically, as we are speaking to you, we are speaking to all of them because.
Yes. So,
yeah.
The whole team agreed on that, but he was the only reluctant one in settling the matter. But procedurally, we couldn't go to trial without actually going through to the settlement conference.
Yes.
In spite of his reservations, we still almost cut our demand down to about a little over half.
Okay.
But to our surprise, you have a panel buy and also no bet $10,000 to end the case. I want to arbitrate and who said no, some way he's in here. I'm sure so I can papers, So he said basically go and take your gamble in the courtroom. So that's how we ended up going to trial. So to go back to how it ended, So at about 4:50 on Thursday, the jury brought us in and they told us what unanimously what they had arrived at. But we decided to keep it under wraps because there was a component you multiply 18 million by 5 money do 90 million for a total of about
that was the plan.
Yeah, that was the plan. Yeah, because
to do that. Okay.
Yes. And then you decided to say but we are bold with coming public with the finding of culpability on Thursday.
Yeah.
Pay a coin, we ended up leaving that alone. A pursuit of ×5 because almost file emotions be I just say or see a two a boss in in terms of that and sana. Say one way or another I go back I could pursue that ×5 and I say depending on what happens, maybe I bet me German and cafe. But at this time, almost my court no say almost be into swore.
Okay. So at this point, my court who say beba 80 million or almost pentiswo. How many days do they have to file that?
Okay. So at this point, the next thing that's going to happen is that there's going to be a paper. A judgment. I just say court reading seal better so.
Yeah.
That would take a few days, and then after that, I believe there's a 5-day rule that's within which you can file that motion. So a bay motion, matese binukasa appeal by nya appeal depending on how that motion goes.
Okay.
We will get a chance. We may get a chance to attempt to get our ×5 of that 18 million, or a big jam and so depending on how that motion goes.
So for now,
yes.
example, 18, Obintiminka said that is the end of the case. It depends.
No, it's not because hypothetically, so to grab back 10, we still have the opportunity to go for ×5.
That is 50. Okay.
Yeah, into the extra 50 plus. Yeah, hypothetically, so much to back 10, we can go for another ×5.
You as a Ghanaian and also a lawyer and defending a fellow lawyer who is a journalist. This has been an experience. Do you want to share something with us when it comes to these kind of defamations and how comparing our judicial system back home and in the States? I'm not forcing you to condemn any, but I'm trying to find out from you. There are so many people in Ghana, they don't really understand how the American judiciary works because we are so used to the Ghana style of judiciary whereby things go a certain way. And I would say sometimes very, very slow. And sometimes you need to know something for even things to move the pace you want. In terms of how this case, how fluid it went, and comparing it to back home. I'm saying back home because I am more concerned back home, and especially when Kennedy presented a case which is the same defamation case, and he tried to use that as a basis that what he did was right. From your experience as a professional, what have you I don't want to say what have you learned. What have you do you want to share something with us before you go?
Yeah. Yeah, me percent me share all the young people in Ghana, me show mon crying say yeah, Oman yeah. Now the country is a young country. So I tend not to criticize too strongly. But Oman and young people need to take their rightful position in the country because you know, my only thing is that the young people see that it's wrong or they know it's wrong, they need to stand up for their rights. The country is still young, so I would not be pointing any fingers at anybody. But we do my American. I'm a school from high school. I lawyer, and you know I know America very well. And for the past 7 years, I was licensed in Ghana in 2014, and I've been practicing actively for the last 7 years in Ghana. See, I know the problems that we face. I wouldn't. I think it's a systemic problem that allows people to hide in there to sort of engage in certain conduct that because democracy, you know, say the system, justice system, if it does not guarantee justice, and then one day, you know, there's going to be a problem. And you know, Omano, I like to direct my comments to all young politicians, those who have entered the fray, you know, about 40 and less, you know. Let's not, if we see things that are not right, let's not say because you benefited from it because your party we want to say party we you know, we're going to condone it. We all need to make sure that we are contributing to building a Ghana that we can all live in. And you know, I would like to end on that. The system is not perfect. There are many things that we can do to also improve it. I will not talk about the substance of some of the things, but I also think the judiciary in Ghana is burdened with a lot of work. There are certain things that exist here in the US that they don't have that perhaps need to be implemented. Some of these judges in this country, in the US, are ably assisted by law clerks who help them lessen their burden. But like I said, the young people in Ghana, we need to look at ourselves because I've had judges tell me, say, I've suggested that, and I've had judges tell me, say, oh no, if a young person cry, but an office on your leaky judgment before the judgment is granted. So I will not be pointing fingers at, what happened in Ghana was a travesty of justice. I'll say that without mincing words.
Defamation, now Kennedy Winnie.
Absolutely, because I'm now a solid, which back to the maybe I can say. Before a court can pronounce someone as a criminal, there ought to be a due process ought to be followed. And I have a publication that is going to come out on this subject in a very near future. You know, for the courts to have called my client a criminal without giving him a criminal trial was a travesty of justice. And the court in New Jersey rightfully classified that as obiter is dicta. It can never be a criminal conviction.
So that was
because one of the things
that was how the court in New Jersey, the Superior Court in New Jersey, actually addressed that particular.
Yes, because the will be criminal. The will be criminal. You can bring proof to say the person has been adjudged to be a criminal. You understand? So the Ghana judgment by court jurors when we brought a police clearance certificate at CID headquarters through the proper normal channels, we got it. It was sealed before we brought it to court, and that was giving more credence than what the judge said about Anas being a criminal, because that is the right thing.
How do you feel as a Ghanaian lawyer, a young Ghanaian lawyer standing before a U.S. judge, making a statement like this from a court in Ghana? I feel it's quite embarrassing.
Like I said, our country is growing. We are. The U.S. is 200 and something years old. We are 60 something years old. So I like to always look at things from an optimistic standpoint. I hope that this is going to be a lesson, because Ghana is not Ghana. Ubanu just by dint of even some of your papa no cry more tna no amount for him Ghana. Ufa Uber Krumwa. I remember say in the middle of the trial, Uber be a driver and I catch him say, I move to Ghana tourism country. You know, Mano is young, but it's a country that we all need to protect and we need to guard zealously. And that starts from the delivery of justice, because no one should have to feel that they need to go outside the four corners of Ghana to get justice. Justice emanates from the people. And we have enough people in Ghana. Because I saw say recently, judges they are educating people about the jury system. As part of our civic responsibility, it will also go a long way, along with amending laws to allow more juror participation in different kinds of cases now.
Lawyer Evans Selassie Adeka, or somebody Esquire. So thank you very much, and I'll also say thank you to your colleagues that helped. In this case, Andrew De Gea, also Arthur Wemega Esquire, and Aday Crow. I'd like to say I really appreciate your time. You've educated us and also made things very clear to Ghanaians.
I'd like to point something else. So there were a few things that I think I glossed over. I think I told you said the threshold that we had to meet in the US was much higher than in Ghana. And in that regard, one of the allegations that was made is that you are a serial killer in terms of multiple Chinese. What was appalling, and I say video say proof. Say proof say I'll be stand no say Chinese for it was an embarrassment because some video be say prekonayo namoya hangi wo onu say onko aboa omo hangi mamudia no so no
and no be sure say
say no kwemu na nka say no ana say but it was definitely what he said he was going to produce, and I think that really disgusted the jury, because and it's not something to accuse someone of likely.
Thank you very much for clarifying this. Ivan Selassie Adeka Esquire, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate every single minute you've shared with us here. At least, we are to rest for now. From your explanation on this case, we end there. The response from the defendant, Kennedy, Japan, the lawyers, so we're waiting for them to also file what they have to file. Now, I share where it goes from where we are now.
And just to clarify, any response, so and can I have for times 5 for no?
Yeah.
The assembly attitude, just say, no person much. Now, for the sake of transparency, no, be in that time now, or yes, we be na. Almost them there, judge and better so. The almost them when you dance why we did not 18 not yet decided say, we have some decisions to make. What I say, not appeal, but the thing is appeal, the difficulty is appeal, US answer no which me appeal, he needs to put the full $18 million down in a bond. Answer no which me appeal no. And we Bob Bryant today, I'm sure say depending on how that goes, we have the prerogative of deciding say we ever go for times 5 based on that 18 million if it stands, and I say almost so bad hypothetically even 10 and I say 12 krana will still decide to say was or bar up with a nice offer, so we chase Canada. I'm not saying because I told you, no, no, so a lawyer, we'll work on, we'll entertain that and decide, say, okay, ABI, Bijan Mu, I young Copesa times 5, no, and I say, but I say, change now, but what for times 5, no. Because there are certain other things that happen. There are certain things that also happen that will influence our decision one way or another.
Yeah. Lawyer, we will be on standby, and I know, sir.
Okay.
Maybe I know we will come back for more clarification and education. We really appreciate you very much. Evans Salasi Adeka Esquire. He has been our guest. He is one of the lawyers of Alnas Arim Yao Anas. Wachurch and Sen Ejum Emagana for Ehuno Kreno. I really want to say thank you very much to a year lawyer, a year Ivan Salasi, and the other lawyers or counsels that helped him. And I said, Omoba together as a team to make sure Anas had a solid a year legal team backing him. No, a year Mr. Arthur Wemega Esquire, he was part of the council Anas lawyers. No, Andrew here is also part of Anas legal team. No, and Odei Crow was part. And as you know, a year lawyer Ivan Salasi Adeka on your screen, he was also part of a year Anas legal team. No, so
now in your account. So, the mama says, "Oh, person also CDR. That Chief Justice, you know, you know, one, do my part, you know, just 3 days to 4 days, under the Swally case, you know, you are arresting the Pabaku. Cases the blue, one present, Mama, wash your book. So, when you say Chief Justice, do this, or better, so, or 3 and prayer.
But I say thank you very much. Hello, caller. Time no day. Hello. Hello, caller. All right, I'm in for caller. Hello, caller. Good evening.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Fine, Mr. Kevin Taylor.
Yes, sir.
I don't can say the number be a woman. Hey, I know to say be 10 Ghana, take a Ghana, Kayas America. Among Cano Corenum, the Sucrumanum Chanto. I answer on the local court. Now, Kevin Pacho Scano, $18 million. Fabra Misican Munamentia say why.
Mr. P, Mr. S, convert the $80 million into cities, Mammy. Hello, caller. New Ghana and old Ghana.
Hello.
I beg you. Auntie Monica, go ahead. Oh, I'm so sorry. Auntie Monica, I took you off. I'm so sorry. I was.
Mr. Kevin.
Hello, caller. Kasamitio.
But because I Japan. But me, Sakis near Abbey and us. We knew America, Canada, we knew Ghana. Shishano, even a lawyer more church some way more because as soon as I move in Ramaka, the same case.
Lawyer, no, lawyer, judge,
there was a Ghana, and this person was a Ghana, and judiciary no in your papa cry, let's say, because I don't know,
we said be any and one no. And one no.
Okay.
We sabi penny for. Hello, caller. Hello. Yadi aninye. I did that one waka. Hello, caller.
Yeah, good evening, Kevin.
Yes, I go ahead.
When you ask me, say, Papa, I think they are tears and then you may. Send a Anasuma and Inguasi started by a hurricane for non terminal. I hear any young as I can. I mean, Shiraw, no, you my power, yeah. So I was your phone. We didn't do which you won't be my young papa.
Mr. 10 Beba, my catch them. What do you say? Why? But I say, all right, hello, caller. Hello. All right, I'm in for another caller. I think the whole system is jammed. Kevin Taylor is here, and it's a breaking news. A free call, Simba, and I just say, oh, I could trim. Now just a review. Near Shishe. Mr. S, Mr. P, $18 million in Ghana cities, New Ghana, saying, I'm more from Peggy 15.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Kevin Taylor.
Go ahead, boss.
Watara Mahmoud and Kevin. Your friend is saying, okay, now $18 million is the friend. Nipa no see so best is no pay mun say. Now skaba we say the ba of PPP we can say.
New Ghana.
One say baby and
yeah.
New Ghana, not just old Ghana, and the ultimate who say trillion or say the yes. Everyone say next year no, and that's almost move about 80 million. Can they don't turn a Japan any be and some turn it any be na family. Ay, no be most so was can this year no over 80 million from there. That is about 29 by friends by 10 no. But they no create down and they na bano. Nipa wa abutra here mon kunim die. And now say nya abutra na fe the final no. Otimi di nkunim. Ye de ye hwe de nim na de edoso. Mamencha Madam Bedimodu.
All right, thank you, Watara. Hello, caller. If I call Sacheon, and then if I call. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yes.
Mr. Kevin.
Uh-huh.
Good evening. Alaji Swale Kine Kasano.
Alaji Swale Kasa.
Mr. Kevin. Be more than 2 years in here. They be a friend number busy.
And on
friend number busy.
Into one fast number busy, but anti cantum.
And Nadia me Danyamia say Nyamia Mama Anyao. Thank you very much. Any Juma Pa Obama.
But I say thank you. That's the part I say. Hello, caller. Hello. $18 million. No? Hello. Good evening. Good evening. All right. $18 million. No? A year. 280 million new Ghana cedis. 280 million new Ghana cedis. And all the back a year. Tete Ghana's kedima a year 2 quadrillion. 2 quadrillion. 2 quadrillion. Yakaza 2 quadrillion on tias ma mencho 2 quadrillion. On bidie ka na ehihye bidie fi bekwa ikoboase no akese no. Sa 3000 sikama. And if 2 quadrillion. 2 quadrillion. Kennedy Sikana announce yes on German no New Ghana 280 million Ghana cedis. 280 million. O the bat to Ghana's kedima 2 quadrillion. Tete bidie ka kese no. Sa 14,000 sika ma pudio bidie ka na ekoboase tubekwai sa bidie ka na atia da bidie gumma no ha sa be 14,000 yesi kere de hihye sa sika nyamfa ko manas you tumfo amonte. Hello caller.
Hello KT, good evening.
Good evening boss, go ahead.
Yo Michelle for you now me kasa figana Kumasi. Yeah, but okay, team, see me inbox. But we check your inbox after the show, please.
All right, we will check.
Why?
Thank you, team.
And yeah. And I mean, one thing. Say, I raise this issue of your constitutional. I'm on train. I'm education system no more. They will be the first in America or out elsewhere. You know.
Constitutional Review Commission was a committee. No more argument. A month for edits are suggesting in a comedy bashim. And I think at the end of the day, we will.
Yeah, because the security system, especially police for the you know, that kind of
all right. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Good evening.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure need my power. We actually say Ghana ha judiciary no do be a wonete. Can Japan and Lucy 2 cases in America consecutive times. But I'm person me can share Ghana for say China midweek obi antwa 1810. What the 10 like a announce the 1810 obi antwa 1810.
All right. It is kind of 2.8 trillion. 2.8 trillion no. Bidie na efri fosu. Bidie ka na efri fosu ekokwapia no. Ene anase praso no. O bidie ka na efri fosu na ekop praso no. Sa bidie ka na ahihye bidie tintintin na achia bi no. Sa 18,000. Sika pudu ma. Yase kere de nkohwehwe fa nkoma anas. Broni America ni broni judge na eka. During for the share of security as one kind of Caribbean. Into over $280 million, 280 million cities, $18 million. What about the Ghana's Kenema? 2.8 trillion. And no bidia kana free a year for su echo a year prasono. The annual load na achiano. On bidia 2,000 gum, na your load near Kataso, sa 14,000 net was so sikama. Yes, Kennedy is selling in a manas. Kennedy. Also, Kopeska, yes, Bruni said, Dina Wahano, New Jersey, the Concono, Yabeton. Hello, caller.
Hello, Tadawala.
Monica, go ahead.
Yeah, the pandemic catch all there. Sikan Wajema, now what they quite charity, one from Ghana, one from developer. Since a new Ghana, new president, new law. And the Ghana Society, you discipline the parties, you start from a parliament, you the book grounding in a discipline at Ghana. Because the president will develop Ghana without discipline on your shin.
Thank you very much. I appreciate this. Thank you. Hello, caller.
Hello, Kevin.
Yes, go ahead.
Boko there.
Baby Aboko.
Yeah, the uncle for us. We are Salam calling from Atmango Bejanov. Kevin, say, one was the area singing a Canada or mobile power.
Canada own.
I want a mobile. Unim. Una would country. Why my tenacity di and or come in here say, or my bantama seat. As and so what it actually I and home. Or some promises so I can't table me also enough. We see Tiawija also and this year Saji. Or party Kukurukono or Sako position. And then another come with crack. They say, it will be all break his record, and as they say, a party. Can it name mobile pie? We are thinking, the
whole world.
Can it name mobile? He put it on record. Yes, the whole world. Kennedy, on name mobile.
Kennedy, so now mobile pie, the whole world. Hello, caller.
Hello, Kevin.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Miss Rao, Medinako Ponsrao. Beef do hopper, I told me, Yere or Bruni, Dr. BFL, Dr. Kalitus, or DD John Draman Mahama, him, my sister was a some way.
Dr. Callistus Nekas has some natural. And Callistus has some need. Hello, caller. Hello. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Kevin, so I Ghana, the American, yes, I could a cheap crown Jandam. Nipper to me, Cassan, as some correct and yellow correct. I Nippon, I can want to give Panipan for court. Now, once I got Nippon, I was known in them. I will acquire some of kind and yet, Papa. Because I did we say, my idea and politicians, you know. So, my uncle, so no, we have a radio, so no, I can't send there and yellow correct. Or they are told to know what to work. Take it. Was supposed to say, oh, the number court. One year, nice when I something is ready. Answer Babu say, and you can I say, so, and I come in person with my David Kakawa. Sir, a brochure court, and a Ghana court. A quite very soon, I did as some more. Then the public come a court, a brochure could be as no. Difference then a room say, my dear Samoa, Minia couldn't be a little book which I made there, a Cuyano. Ninja or home,
Kennedy Nkwana yes sir, Kennedy Nkwana yes sir, not or the defendant who and amfa or call a brochure court no or see what winning case we Ghana or the side case in about brochure be defending who. And a New Jersey court case is Adiano and Yejuma. Hello caller.
Hello.
Mbachokasa.
Baje FM Tahiru Amadu. Kasa free do yam kwanta.
All right, Tahiru Kasa.
Yeah, Kevin, even though was a pa Nijuma pa Obama or my Ghana, Yamishra pa Yamuntu Nkwem. Kevin, yes, so you say, you kasa, oh, kasa, and this is for big tea, pa, your mama big tea. Yes, so my your mama will say, Ukrofona after December 7th, now my form. Yes, so police were mum left in my or mom were prison or mumbra because almost real do. Yes, so Kevin, so you my
all right, thank you very much. Hello, caller.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Kevin. Good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead.
Mpacha best neka say from Spain. I made a pa senior nyamia buama nia papa we epe wan tumianya nti wamomia ni kompa ama mpenemfo a omoka wo Ghana omodi omo position edidi amomfo so no obia be steady now. Nti medamasi.
Obia be steady. Hello, caller. Go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Yeah,
yes,
hello,
sir.
Kevin. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, Figo ni aboso. Takwa boso Western Region. Yeah. Hey, me dawase pa. Hey, sisi ade ai se boga mo. Yeah.
Oya mo.
Boga mo na me de we ya. Boga kene de Japan. Boga mo because me share the way ya boga gira your friend say box yi mo a. Wa mo ai so o come match pass o. Ne nsa the way ya ne nsa ku no ho. Na boga ntimi nya hwe na ne nua yi nso asiriti ase no me dwene wo amenti ase we ni ade e wo say Ghana media's journalists omudi sua de because sometimes say udi information bre Ghana for Kevin the me den say udi say evidence bi bia danu kwam nso Ghana for no enye dey emfa nya asem adana run for kebu achi ka asem bi de fa ho o say Kevin Taylor ya ade bi na ade na Kevin ye no Ghana for nti ase but later no Ghana for better say afei na Ghana for hu dwuma wadi se wode no kore e de ye wo program na no obi nso pese osua wunti no hwe nkwase agenda ma sa nipa ne de ne nam no to viewers
but I say
we no mun ni ade se so mu di sua de o mu sua de na bebo wo
o me go Kennedy courtroom they see what courtroom Kennedy
always know and your note had been marked as free and it said judge. In our initial finding, we awarded $18 million and a breakdown, presuming $5 million, actual $5 million, and punitive $8 million. With your verdict and your note, your jury service in this case is complete. I truly have enjoyed working with you. You've been an attendant jury. Thank you so much for your service. You are discharged. Get out of my cat. And your note has been marked as free, and it said judge. In our initial finding, we awarded $18 million and a breakdown, presuming $5 million, actual $5 million, and punitive $8 million. With your verdict and your note, your jury service in this case is complete. I truly have enjoyed working with you. You've been an attendant jury. Thank you so much for your service. You are discharged. And your note has been marked as free, and it said judge. In our initial finding, we awarded $18 million and a breakdown. Presuming $5 million, actual $5 million, and punitive $8 million. With your verdict and your note, your jury service in this case is complete. I truly have enjoyed working with you. You've been an attendant jury. Thank you so much for your service. You are discharged.
All right, hello caller. Into the civil court no judgment.
Kevin Boadu Taylor.
Kasamitio. All right. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello. We've lost the caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yeah. Good evening. Go ahead.
All right. Hello, Kevin. Yeah, I'm calling from Finland.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to contribute to. Due to this case that Anas Armia has won, it's we just say congratulations to him, and then we just need to also help our judicial system to, work better. As the lawyer said, we are the young nation. We all need to contribute to the development of Ghana, but that doesn't mean people can just abuse power and just do what they want. That's what I have to say. Thank you for the good work.
Thank you too. Thank you. All right. Okay. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah. Good evening. Yeah.
Yeah. This is Jawla from Tamale.
Jawla Kasa.
You see, Mr. Kevin, is this Japan issue is a lesson to Ghanaian journalists, daily guide and then daily graphic. Sometimes they do lie to people. So now it's a lesson to them. So thank you very much. May God bless you.
Thank you too. I like it when you make it straight. Precisely so. I like it. Hello, caller.
Okay, Kevin, Pedro Michels, then the Irina or your debia and then about one and down for number 20 be about Punade flashing kakra.
I'm flashing kakra. I'm flashing. I'm flashing kakra. Hello, caller.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Who see Kennedy? Ska unya one time Hassan na Abdallah police one mama pampo.
I mention Kennedy, many Kennedy case. Kennedy be sue me 9.5 million. right? Mami cheche munchiro.
Kata ana so me 500.
Yo, Martin. Many Kennedy case, man, just give you a Kennedy. Kennedy ne sue me for $9.5 million. Then after my lawyers made the case, it was upon Kennedy to prove he said, because Kennedy amending the case, you know. And I'm proving to Kennedy say the case no other bano. Sebi nyansebi enim in the court in Bontungu. And a court no actually Kennedy say or my Kennedy 30 days. Or my Kennedy two options. Either say or beba on one case baba retract the case no or baba ye free court. And now say me to me I go ahead. Now I use what we call Rule 11. If they can apply for Rule 11 and Kennedy seek an anchor or pay free me 9.5 no. And think after I think 60 days or 30 days no. So Kennedy nyaku kudro ambe redraw case no anka nchewi ase nyina say case no de ba nyanse ni ma anka metumi apply Rule 11 nanka maje 9.5 million won ho. Kennedy one redraw case now to the 29th day was a day 50. No, I think it was 30 days. I think on the 28th day or the 29th day no, and I'm a lawyer friend catch them say Kennedy Japan I redraw case no. It's Kennedy I redraw case no within 30 days there and can me apply Rule 11 and can make after the 9.5 million and can make just ask no. Na masama need to am lawyers damages no. Into Kennedy man just kebi no. Kennedy dey so niska. Hello caller.
Okay.
Okay, me that say. All right, thank you. Na obi ka say o kai me answer na me pon no. Answer na me pon no say Ghana dey yentumi nko. Guy we oyewi ye friend no. Williams Anefi Sapon. Bo abehu no baby a no tena meeting bia so be gina baby a oye kromfo. Na damfo ne Amiya Debra. Oni ne fidi Amiya Debra. He is the person who is taking care of Amiya Debra like a dog. Amiya Debra ako using the platform and all the promote criminal way. Amiya Debra know this boy has nothing to his name. Amiya Debra is using his platform. That is his platform na enko for Sukrana Endru Togono. Amiya Debra and the concept tete napkin. Ushana aso yare e de to Sudan for bas so ba Ghana. Na won langa say de de hu grass so ewo Yugoslavia. Amiya Debra kromfo our him boy we ye friend no Williams Anefi Sapon. Or the John Muhammad Dia Kobokro no. Me say or your lawyer or your doctor or for the certification in Bachelor. Ewo TV so on social media 2 minutes. No can say me law me doctor me no me certificate chese me doctor ni. Spintex Medical Center no obo kunipa ho. Boy we NSC ne dia oboa makache nipa na Spintex Medical Center Daniel ne dia say on pamon enfri ho. Boy we oyewi. Wa obeshia no bebia obeshia di bia no catch and say oyewi. Amiya Debra is the one using his platform to promote this boy's criminality. Amiya Debra and the concert napkin. Ocean one when sisi I say superku. Otigana comment dino ni yema kwatre said ye kotre de free Sudan. On an Ghana no or portrait go voice already our platform will be or bois. Sa boy we the tuaneka. Amiya Debra is one of the most hungriest, long neck, lazy ass, skinny, shrinking dick fool out in Ghana. Origin Kofo Sika post in your mano. Amiya Debra and Kwaji boy with certificate no post on the page in the so. Amiya Debra and the see green said the Oriye champion fee. This boy Williams Anefi Sapon is a criminal. Cockdam, ewo eye achimota. Makacham say me be ye dwuma bi wo ho. Dipa be 7 are involved. Embarka ho. Ye de omu nyina e ba ba kiremo what they are doing and the criminality they are committing. Mechiremo achimota Cockdam. Yeah, your team no, they have done a thorough work which is good. They have done serious work. Inti aka 3 minutes na mapon. Memo obi a refi no. Ne maame ene ne papa ne papa ne papa ye kromfo. Ne papa onko asori biem we jai sa asori ene wakote eye school bi o chinama be kan school no asam kiremo. Papa we oyewi o kan ho na de ba na ewi ankofo sika. Maame we ono so eye Williams Anefi Sapon. Ne maame nie. This woman too is a criminal. Omo ne ne bokrom krono no. Akwa we enye ne nuanom nyina nie. Ye o miensa bi a me fa ba kiremo. My team they are getting the rest of ni nuanom no pictures na be a kiremo. Ni nuanom nie oni omo ene bokrono no. Williams Anefi Sapon eyewi oyekromfo. Me say Ombra social media, Facebook, TV so now on for 2 minutes per make us on for John Muhammad Dean enter team meeting gold meeting mun ka say John Muhammad na damfo. Now the John Muhammad Dean akwaje contractor omo for sike bi man no own defraud Dubai fo bi. And 2 offer the certificate emekire e o TV so say oye real doctor. Midin me maame ne papa de to me a Emma won pem asem no Kevin Boadu Taylor. And Ghana fo nyina ehu no kure no. Ye nyina yehu de esi. Kennedy Japan lose case against the Anas. Defamation case Anas the Botia Kennedy wa America no $18 million and counting. The Asian one we do $90 million no. Until we are waiting to see say Anas be activated 90 million a year action now. A 90 million action no. So far the Kennedy Eddie Anas ka $18 million. Odoba Ghana Sikima 280 million Ghana cedis. Odoba tete Ghana Sikima 2.8 trillion a year Ghana cedis. Sa sikano opes ohun physical bidie ka efri eye fosu eko eye de eye praso sa bidie ka sa 14,000 ya hyehyɛ sika wo mu yɛse ɔmfa no nyinaa 14,000 ɔfa sa sika nyinaa nkɔma Anas arim yaw Anas